Scuba instructor Flora embodies key leadership attributes. Her meticulous planning, clear communication, and anticipation of hazards create a safe and successful environment for her students. So what are the attributes of a good manager? This question can be answered in many ways, but take a moment to ask yourself, what skills, qualities, beliefs, and special sauce would a person have that would make you feel, I want that person to be my manager? Self-management, of course, has importance beyond our working lives. However, in management, it really focuses on the example we set for our teams. Let's learn about two different types of self-management skills, intrapersonal and interpersonal. Time management. This involves planning and organizing your work effectively to maximize efficiency and meet deadlines. Utilize tools like calendars, to-do lists, and project management software to stay on top of your tasks. What are the key interpersonal attributes of remarkable managers? They institute clear and informed choices. Skillful managers gather information, consider different options, and make well-informed decisions that are communicated transparently to the team. Here's a quick story about a manager at a bustling medtech startup. Manuel, a young manager, noticed a shift in his team's energy. Many of the interpersonal attributes that great managers develop fall under the skill set of emotional intelligence. Select each skill to learn more. Motivation. This is your internal drive to achieve your goals.
Well, thanks. I have some ideas about Instagram that I think we can put into action quickly.
Together, they crafted specific, measurable goals for David to achieve throughout the campaign. Positive reinforcement. Be sure to acknowledge and praise team members' efforts, accomplishments, and progress towards goals. Psychological safety. A safe place exists where individuals feel comfortable taking risks, admitting mistakes, and offering honest feedback without fear of judgment.
Imagine holding the fate of a life-saving medical device in your hands. Every test result, every data point, carries immense weight, impacting the future of countless patients. In this course, we will explore the foundations of data integrity. Throughout this course, there will be 5 multiple-choice questions. If you get them all right, you will not need to take the final quiz. Data integrity refers to the state of data being complete, consistent, accurate, trustworthy, and reliable, and ensuring these characteristics are maintained throughout its entire life cycle. It is only with strong data integrity practices that we can guarantee the quality of our products. First and foremost, data integrity failures can cause harm to patients who can't evaluate the quality of the medicine or medical advice by looking at it. The future of Dr. Ava Chen's innovative heart valve hangs in the balance as global regulators announce an investigation into potential inconsistencies in data. One of the key elements of data integrity is the concept of Alcoa Plus. Let's take a look at the journey that data takes from the development of the product all the way through its distribution to the patient. Here in the lab, the focus is on non-clinical studies, ensuring the reliability and integrity of the data generated. This is where we build a strong foundation of data quality and trustworthiness. Select each priority to learn more. Ongoing monitoring focuses on clinical trial safety data once products begin human trials and continues through post-marketing surveillance. Congratulations, you've journeyed alongside Dr. Chen, witnessing her relentless pursuit of data integrity in developing a life-saving heart valve. But this story isn't just
3 victims, 3 suspects, all of them co-workers at Scoff Pharmaceuticals. Your job as a detective is simple. Get to know the victims, interview the suspects, and learn everything you can about physical laboratory hazards in order to solve the mystery. Select Next to go to the lab to begin your investigation. As you're escorted into a spare office, you begin your investigation. These 3 coworkers were all found dead on different days in the environmental stability chamber in the lab. When you select each one, the medium will summon them to the room with a seance to give their statements. The police have already narrowed down the suspects to these 3 staff members. Select each one to hear their statements. Go ahead and begin.
Spirits of Dr. Adele Ronto, I call on you to operate.
Well, this is a coincidence. You see, I was the safety officer here.
This lab is full of stuff that can burn you, even things that aren't hot, like liquid nitrogen. What happened to me? I was in the chamber working alone, except when Dr. Berger came in to replace the batteries in the O2 detector.
Spirit of Sam Wendell, I call on you to operate and make yourself known to us.
Oh, man. Look at this place. What's that on the floor? Did someone leave some salts on the ground? And what's that other stuff? Select each one, and then I'll tell you my story. Alkalis are highly reactive with certain materials, such as acids or other chemicals.
You can see that this lab can be prone to equipment injuries. There's no shortage of moving machinery that can really do damage. We have too many people here who have accidentally cut through their own gloves with a broken glass slide or punctured themselves with working needles. We have security cameras in the chamber so I can monitor their work on the controller dashboard on my laptop.
When new people begin working in the lab, they don't always know the routines and procedures. I'm not authorized to work in the lab, and when someone goes in there who isn't, that's a potential hazard.
You've interviewed all the suspects and heard the experiences of each victim from their own ghosts. So, it's time to choose. Select the single suspect responsible for the murders.
What? You think that I did it? I don't have access to any of the control functions of the chamber that could have put them in danger. Am I being framed?
But I barely worked in that lab. I know I saw Dr. O close to the time that she died, but I never set foot in that chamber. She was my friend, and I never hurt her.
Curses. Deep down I knew I'd never get away with my plan. When Dr. Oranto not only reported me for physical safety violations, but also stole my lunch from the break room fridge, I knew I had to get rid of her. Before she started for the day, I left the top off the liquid nitrogen dewar and took out the batteries from the O2 sensor.
Thanks for solving the case, Detective. During the investigation, your ability to learn about common physical hazards in the lab clearly made the difference.
I thought everything was going well, and now I have to wait a few more weeks. Why do my deals always stall?
You know, Jessica was a high-performing seller before she moved into a manager role. Have you talked to her about it? I know she's busy, but she shared some really good ideas with me before.
No, I haven't, but that's a good point.
Of course. I'm free all morning tomorrow. Come by when you get into the office.
Perfect. Hey, thanks, Jessica.
This situation may feel familiar. You're in sales for a reason. You're good at it. You have strengths, a level of experience. You found what works for you and what doesn't. But like Charles, are you as good as you want to be? Do you ever hit situations that are tough to get through? Do you feel like your pipeline could be even stronger and you could close bigger deals? Research shows that customers' buying processes have changed. Buyers are more informed and may wait to contact a salesperson because of all the information available online. The first what sets the foundation for building a value-based recommendation. Click on it to go back to our story.
Well, yeah, it will. It'll impact their sales organization and their IT team in terms of how they work together.
Imagine you're Charles. What choices would you make in a conversation with his customer, George?
Hi, George. Since this initiative is an important one for your company, I wanted to make sure I'm being a good partner for you. I'd like to ask you some questions to better understand your situation and share some information with you about how we've helped companies like yours before.
That's great. Thank you. Well, I have a few minutes now before my next meeting. I can tell you're invested in seeing our business from our perspective and making sure we're a success beyond the sale. I'm really interested to hear more. Well, you seem invested in the success of our people as well as me and my company. I'm gaining confidence this could be a good relationship. Do you have any other questions? Charles, I'm talking to several vendors and I was hoping you'd stand out more. You were really bringing a lot of value to the table, Charles, and not just pushing your products. That's refreshing and helpful. And I'd like to invite you to be on the shortlist to submit a proposal.
Oh, what happened?
Well, their vendor shipped their tablets to the IT department, and that's it. No help setting them up or any other support. All they did was call to make sure they received them.
What? That's awful.
I know, it's crazy. And the salespeople in the pilot group really struggled with using them in front of customers, not to mention the software glitches. I guess the VP of sales was pretty upset and told George's boss to get involved and fix this.
I lost a lot of deals along the way that I learned from. I used to make great business cases for why customers should buy from me. I connected to their business value and paid attention to each stakeholder's personal value, but my ratio of proposals to close deals was just average, and every change has some degree of cost associated with it.
As we've seen, the third what is understanding your customer's risks. both to the organization and stakeholders personally, and working to minimize that risk or their perception of it. Open each growth level to explore real-world tactics and examples.
Customers usually aren't very open about the risks they worry about, but it's important to them.
I had a lead for a pretty big deal. I met with their procurement team and one of their directors.
Select the case studies to review real-world examples of how actual sellers use them to win their deals. In this episode, we'll learn the next essential strategy, planning a conversation roadmap to proactively guide the customer through the buy-sell process. Then what happens? How often do you find the sales conversation stops moving forward? Maybe they tell you they want to discuss it internally, or that they'll think through the next steps and get back to you. And you end up waiting, and waiting, and calling, and waiting. Why does this happen? This approach will empower you to proactively guide your customers through the buy-sell process. So what does a conversation roadmap actually look like in the real world?
Maybe I talk about... No, I don't know. I could really use some help with this roadmap. I wonder if Kristen's around. I think you're on mute, Kristen.
Sorry about that. I see. Getting started is the hardest part.
How your customers buy falls on a spectrum between relationship and transactional.
Oh, okay. We're listening.
So, it's for Apex.
Okay. All right, now who's got a joke that's not going to get me a call from HR?
Well, Google. LinkedIn, Investors Business Daily, Google. Their annual report. Okay, here we go. Aha! Jessica, so I found something interesting about Apex.
Enough learning. Let's put this into action with one of your real-world opportunities. For this activity, choose an opportunity in the early stage of the sales process that you'd like to advance and meets these criteria. Enter the name of the opportunity in the space provided. Great. You'll do 3 things with this opportunity. First, you'll assess their buying style in order to determine if it's transactional or relationship. Then you'll identify how to adjust your sales strategy based on their buying style. Finally, you'll create a conversation roadmap to ensure you're proactively guiding your customer through the buy-sell process. Take your time and really think about your choices. At the end of the activity, you can download a PDF of the results. Let's look at your customer's buying style first. Based on what you know about this opportunity, use this activity to analyze their value requirements, costs of change, and potential risk associated with their decision. First, consider which criteria are most important to your customer and how they perceive value. For each one, click the box that best indicates where it likely falls. Hover over the information icons to learn more about each one. Now, what cost of change do you think they may be facing? And how significant or minimal could each be? Make a selection in each criteria to indicate your assessment. Finally, think about the risks associated with making or not making this decision to buy. For each of these, click the box that best indicates where it likely falls. Now that you have an idea of how your customer wants to buy, how will you adapt your sales strategy? Next, you'll select key strategies to pay attention to and identify the actions you want to take. Here are key strategies for both types of opportunities. Which will you need to pay attention to in order to best meet your buyer's expectations? Select each strategy you want to consider. You can select from both relationship and transactional strategies that may apply to your opportunity. Need some help? Check out the guidance icon at the top of the screen for suggestions and ideas. Great. Now to execute that sales strategy. What actions will you take to sell them the way they want to buy? Be as specific as you can by capturing both what you want to do and when you want to do it. This is your final analysis. You can download your Buyer Spectrum PDF here. There are many options for how you might use this analysis. You can reference it for your own planning purposes, share and discuss it with your colleagues, attach it in your CRM to an opportunity, or share with your manager for feedback. If you're happy with your strategy, click Continue, or click Start Over. Now it's time to create your conversation roadmap. You may not know all the conversations you want to have, but now's a good time to start capturing your initial ideas. Your roadmap will help guide both you and your customer. Now it's time to create your conversation roadmap. You may not know all the conversations you want to have, but now's a good time to start capturing your initial ideas. Your roadmap will help guide both you and your customer. You'll be guided through the how and what of building your roadmap, and you can download your roadmap at the end. Your first action is to select an opportunity. You can continue with the same one from the Buyer Spectrum activity or choose a different one. You even have the option of selecting an account in which you're trying to create a new opportunity that doesn't yet exist. If you choose an existing opportunity, consider if the buyer is looking to buy more transactionally or for an organization-to-organization relationship. This will help you plan who to engage within your customer account and even internally if necessary. Remember, the buying preference of your customer should influence your sales strategy and ultimately your conversation roadmap. If you're trying to create an opportunity that doesn't yet exist, consider what conversations would be optimal to help you gain traction. For help, take a look at the guidance icon at any time for suggestions and examples. Select Let's Do It when you're ready to begin. Great. Now, given the outcome of the first conversation, what's the next conversation you need to have? Who do you need to talk with to guide your opportunity forward? Close the window, and then select who you'd like to meet with for your second conversation. You can click the new guidance available at the top of the screen for ideas and examples to guide your strategic thinking. Are there any more conversations you'd like to add? Select Yes to add more or No if you're finished. Now, given the outcome of the second conversation, what's the third conversation you need to have? Who do you need to talk to guide your opportunity forward? Close the window and make your selection. Check out the guidance at the top for some new ideas. Great. You have 5 conversations planned on your roadmap. Before moving on, take a minute to consider. If this is your ideal roadmap, what do you need to do to build credibility in your first conversation that's going to help set it in motion? You can edit your original entry or leave it the same. When you're done, click Finish to view and download your roadmap. Once downloaded, attach the PDF to the opportunity in your CRM. Download your roadmap here. Once downloaded, attach the PDF to the opportunity in your CRM for future reference. Congratulations, you've completed your conversation roadmap. A roadmap is not a static document. As you complete each conversation, you'll likely have new information and insights. When that happens, consider how that influences your roadmap and make adjustments. Congratulations! You've completed the Conversation Framework's Essential Conversation Strategies course and earned your course completion badge. Over the course of this season, you've learned the essential strategies to keep your deals moving forward. Always apply the 3 what's with your deals. Create a conversation roadmap to proactively guide your customer, and identify how your buyer wants to buy along the buyer spectrum to align with your sales strategy. These sales capabilities enable you to differentiate yourself through the way you sell and win more and higher quality deals. Because success in sales today is based on how you sell, not what you sell.
Okay, who submitted this lead? Dana. Okay, I'll email her next. Well, that's not going to be much of a meeting, considering I haven't got any new leads from marketing over the past couple months. And most of my existing customers have so much change going on that all new projects are pretty much stalled. I need to clear my head, work out, or order a Bailey's. Decision made. Drinks it is. Hey, Michael. I just messaged you. What's going on? Hey, Trey. Man, you are killing it. I can't believe you got another executive meeting. That's great. That's impressive. How did you get that executive to set up time with you?
Trey was just talking about grabbing drinks with you, and I said I haven't seen Michael in a while.
The goal of prioritizing your accounts is to help you focus your time on opportunities that have the highest possible value to your pipeline first. Here's some criteria you should consider when prioritizing your accounts. The more of this criteria your account meets, the higher it should rank on your priority list. Select the criteria you currently use to prioritize. Once you're done, you'll be asked to prioritize your top 5 accounts. According to Gartner Research, high-performing sellers create opportunities and grow their pipeline by identifying companies going through change. Understanding the factors influencing their company allows you to tailor your messaging. When you know what internal changes are occurring, you can align your messaging to your company's stated strategy. When you know the external factors putting pressure on them, it can help you identify a use case to drive your messaging.
There was a mid-sized retail business near me that did well, and it just launched a new online buying experience.
Beachhead is a war term. Merriam-Webster defines it as a beach on an enemy shore that an invading army takes and controls in order to prepare for the arrival of more soldiers and supplies. The key here is to find a little piece of the beach and slowly continue to expand, and venture out more and expand again until you gain control of the whole beach.
Okay, is this thing on? Let me tell you this story about a company I'd been working with for the past 18 months, Level 5. I set up a call to discuss their current projects and prepared myself to do some discovery by writing down my questions, and I had a lot of them. Well, we have the call, I start asking my questions, and I get totally blindsided. My contact says, "It has been great working with you, but our business and my leadership has decided to go in a different direction. I wasn't part of the process, but I guess one of your competitors got in with some different areas of our business and they established a relationship." The worst part? She says they're planning to roll the work we've been doing together into this new larger deal with our competitor. I was stunned.
Have you seen this story play out before? Have you witnessed top-performing sellers land large deals while you work hard just to stay mid-pack? Let's start by looking at this seller's sales approach with his customer. Before we dive in, why is this necessary? Well, the business landscape has changed. Consider these latest trends among enterprise and SMB buyers identified by research firms. Select each customer to learn more.
My boss asked me to go find some information on new trends in our industry and areas our company needs to focus on, to achieve our future outcomes.
Now, combine that data-driven story with your personal and professional experience. Start to create a few hypotheses of what potential opportunities exist for your organization to help the customer through the implications of those changes. It's time to have some fun by playing Discoveryland. As you advance in the game, you'll apply what you learned to your real-world accounts by using a potential opportunity planner, a POP. Your POP will help guide and capture your thought process as you prepare an opportunity strategy for your account. You'll use it in this course and also beyond with your other real-world accounts. Think about an existing or new account you're working on, and maybe one where you have yet to make contact. You'll do real work with this account throughout the course. Go ahead and enter the account name now. The game follows the 8 steps of discovery as you learn this new approach and mindset. So how do you win the game? As you move from traditional to modern discovery, you'll earn experience points along the way and upgrade your game piece. Choose your game piece now. You ready to play? Remember, you can view where you are on the game board at any time by clicking the game board icon.
Welcome. I'm glad you're showing interest in becoming a top-performing seller. I'm happy to show you how I was successful with a large customer of mine, Level 5. Now, the company's current priorities are a starting point, but you also need to look at where their organization is going. When I started to research Level 5, I was surprised how much information was out there. Can you find all the useful data from the available sources in this room? Up to this point, your discovery has been expansive, leveraging available data sources to hypothesize on potential opportunities. After developing a few hypotheses, I wanted to see where they were at on their journey with each of them. Now, how do you fill any information gaps you have? You've reached the end of the course, but your learning doesn't stop here. Congratulations!
Did you hear the one about the guy who didn't trust ladders? He said they were always up to something. That might be a little corny, but ladder safety is no joke. Ladders are commonly used in everyday life, whether it's changing a light bulb, painting a room, or reaching for an item on a high shelf. Select each topic to navigate through the course. Workplace ladder hazards and risks pose a significant threat to the safety of workers. Falls from ladders are the most significant hazard associated with ladder use. Workers may suffer from falls, electrocution, or injuries from falling objects. Inspect the ladder. Before using a ladder, inspect it for any defects or damage. Do not use a ladder that is broken or damaged in any way. Use caution around electricity. If you need to use a ladder near power lines or other electrical sources, make sure the ladder is made of non-conductive material, such as fiberglass. Let's do a short ungraded activity on identifying ladder hazards and risks. You will see 4 photos, where 3 show normal and safe ladder usage, and one of the photos presents a ladder hazard or risk. Your task is to correctly select the photo showing the hazard or risk.
We all know at least one clumsy person, and maybe it's us. Even being as careful as possible, at some point, you are going to slip on a wet floor or trip over something, or fall down. Whether it is at home, outside, or at work, the key is to minimize these hazards. In this module, we will discuss how slips, trips, and falls can occur in the workplace, the risks associated with these hazards, and the measures that can be taken to prevent them. Slips occur when there is not enough friction between the footwear and the walking surface, causing the foot to slide out from under the person. According to the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, slips, trips, and falls account for a significant percentage of workplace injuries and fatalities. When we understand the risks associated with slips, trips, and falls, we can identify ways to prevent them. Select each graphic to learn more. Educate. A key measure to prevent slips, trips, and falls is to educate employees on the risks associated with these hazards and how to avoid them. Identify all of the slip, trip, and fall hazards in the workplace. This is not a graded activity, but try your best at finding all the potential issues. Congratulations!
Imagine for a moment you are a little kid again. Your biggest concern is which of your friends you are going to play with during recess at school. You love looking at bugs and doing experiments and reading about science every chance you get. Good laboratory practices, GLP, and good manufacturing practices, GMP, are two sets of regulations that are designed to ensure the quality and integrity of products and data. GLP is a set of regulations that apply to the conduct of non-clinical laboratory studies. These studies are typically used to assess the safety of new medicinal products and medical devices. Prior to the early 1970s, many analytical laboratories applied some of the principles that were later incorporated into current good laboratory practices. In addition to IBT, another prominent company was brought into the spotlight for poor practices. Searle Labs was a pharmaceutical company founded in 1888. In the 1970s, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, began investigating Searle Labs for allegations of falsifying data from non-clinical laboratory studies. The Searle Labs and Industrial Biotest case helped to raise awareness of the importance of GLP regulations. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, commonly known as OECD, has established a series of principles for assuring the quality, reliability, and trustworthiness of non-clinical laboratory testing. These principles have now become known as current good laboratory practice. These allow the results of laboratory studies undertaken in compliance with the principles of GLP in one member country to be accepted in all other OECD countries. The Mutual Acceptance of Data, commonly referred to as MAD, is an international agreement that allows participating countries to share the results of non-clinical test study data. This saves governments and industry resources by reducing the need to repeat tests, and it helps to ensure that safety assessments are based on the best available science. According to the OECD, participating countries that perform safety testing have national GLP compliance monitoring programs, CMP. Select and drag the definition to the correct acronym. Aren't good laboratory practices an obvious step in the research of pharmaceuticals and medical devices? As you've learned, GLP protects everyone, from lab staff and study directors to animals, the environment, and the general public. Let's explore some real-life situations that led to FDA warning letters. Select each letter to see more. A February 2020 warning letter following an FDA inspection of a biotechnology facility revealed serious violations of Title 21, Code of Federal Regulations, CFR, Part 58. Results.
The Play Apps Troubleshooter is used when the customer has issues getting the Play Store app to download or run properly, and also for issues with apps that are available on the Play Store. For example, a customer contacts support because they're having trouble with their Clash of Clans. Start by selecting the user's device and app in the workflow. Then ask some probing questions to determine their ability to troubleshoot and check the corresponding boxes. Based on the information you entered, the workflow runs system checks in the background and determines possible causes for the issue. It then provides you with a list of the best possible resolutions that you can use to troubleshoot with the customer. When you've found a solution, use the Do It For Me button to automatically populate the required cards so you can finish up the case. If you could not find a resolution that worked, consult with a Tier 2 specialist and continue working the case. The Play Purchase Troubleshooter puts everything you need in one place. Thanks for watching. Stay googly. In this scenario, the customer contacted support because he's having trouble downloading an app from the Play Store. Let's look at how this case might be handled. To begin, search the resolution card for the Play Apps Troubleshooter. To search for the workflow, you can use search terms such as Play Store errors, app problem, or simply troubleshoot. Troubleshoot with the customer using the instructions. If this troubleshooter did not resolve the customer's issue, select Try Another Resolution. Welcome to the gift card workflow training. The gift card workflow allows you to locate gift cards so you can redeem a gift card to a customer's account. Let's see how to find the workflow in the Cases 2.0 resolution card. So now let's take a look at the most common issues and some of the scenarios in each category. Sometimes the ink on the redemption code gets scratched off when scratching off the gray covering. To troubleshoot this issue, you can use the workflow to look up the customer's gift card by searching for the serial number. Let's see how to help a customer who cannot read the redemption code from the gift card. You can look up the gift card by entering some of the card's information. Start by asking the customer to read you the card's serial number on the back of the card. It may be possible to find the card if the customer can read 4 consecutive characters from the card's redemption code.
Are you ready to close?
Main cabin ready for door closure. Exit rows have been briefed.
Are you ready to close boarding door?
Yes, ready to close the cabin door.
Cabin secure, ready to close.
We have closed the boarding door. It's go time. It is time to switch small electronics to airplane mode and ensure they are secure.